My son, by Kevin, Junior, Senior.
We wish you a Merry
Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
I think everybody recognize. Okay, naman na tayo? Okay. So, thank you, and I hope we have all the energy for the day that we celebrate all the activity. No? I encourage everyone to continue to communicate. Further ado, okay? Okay, naman, can you meet on your right now? So that we can proceed to the next part of our program. Everybody,
Teacher daw, nagdala og 16 ka boys, 23 ka girls sa play.
Ang lain man ang misulod.
Hindi naman daw ka bata, ang dala ni teacher. Kung saan man na mo? Kung saan na mo?
hello.
Judith
I'm Julie.
Teacher daw, nagdala og, ikutang 16 ka boys, 16 boys, 16 boys,
Can you turn off your light so that we can proceed to the next part?
boys. Tapos sila ka girls. Oh, dili po sa ubos sa 15. Ito si 2 og si 2 sa 1 og si 3 sa
So that's all. Thank you. And God bless us all. Sir Don?
Thank you very much. Of course, the very lively acknowledgement of participants coming from our assistant principal to
anak daw siya.
our junior high school, Mr. Joey Alzumir. Thank you very much. And
girls sa playground para
again, this is repeat reminder again and again. We heard as of now, I believe someone is attending RBI webinar. Please, please turn off your webinar, or maybe please keep monitor away from this webinar so that you will not be disrupted. Again, we still heard webinar for RBI. Please, those who
Di maguto RBI.
nag-stick sa brain. Manande. Nana-isik. Nana-isik.
nag-coach siya?
Nag-isik
Isa
yan.
ka siya?
6. Si training mo sa kamot. 6.
Mrs. Aso,
Supay na lagi dahil. 6.
please you can contact Mrs. Aso. Thank you very much. And so, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? This is again the perks of having a webinar. So,
Sir.
of course, yes.
Hello sa
Sino eh? Isa man eh?
sa ubos ni 3.
16 plus.
Gino. Oh, sige. So this is part of kaning coping with the kuan. So ladies and gentlemen, to go to the statement purpose why we are gathered here with our webinar. So let us welcome once again the Assistant Principal Designate for Senior High School, Madam Ninita C. Hilasio.
Okay, good morning everyone. Sorry for the interruption. Nawala mi sa ubos. Okay, good morning. My respect to our speakers this morning, to our school principal, Mamalu Kurugan, to our assistant principal, Sir Joey, to the department heads, master teachers, subject group heads, good morning. Mental health plays an important role in our current pandemic situation. As defined by the World Health Organization, mental health is a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential and can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to contribute to her or his community. This seminar aims to, number one, understand the different concepts in the provision of mental health psychosocial support services. Second, appreciate the importance and limitations of psychological first aid. And number three, establish a human connection in a non-intrusive, compassionate manner. So this virtual training is done for us to be updated on what we are going to do under the pandemic. So to everyone who is attending or who are attending in this virtual training, a pleasant morning once again.
Thank you very much once again, Madam Ninita C. Hilasio. And this time, ladies and gentlemen, we will now, before we're going to invite or welcome our invited resource speaker for this webinar, she will be introduced by our colleague here, and after the introduction, the discussion or the sharing will start. So ladies and gentlemen, the introduction of the guest speaker or the resource speaker by one of the registered guidance counselors in Agusan del Sur National High School. Let us welcome with a virtual applause, Madam Pinky Azinef A. Abapo.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pinky Abapo from our guidance office, and I am happy to introduce to you our guest speaker. Our guest speaker is a resident from Kidapawan City, the eldest daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Romeo Balatico. She is an AB Psychology graduate at University of Southern Mindanao, Cabacan, Cotabato in the year 2014. she took up her Master of Arts in Guidance Counseling, where we have been classmates at San Pedro College, Davao City. And together, we graduated our masteral on May 2018. And on the same year, we passed our licensure exam as registered guidance counselor. For now, she took a degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology, major in Counseling Psychology at Ateneo de Davao University. Our guest speaker is an active resource speaker on child and adolescent development, an effective coach in life skills enhancement, and a music therapy facilitator. She conducts seminars on mental health and psychosocial debriefing for children and youth, and a trainer on psychological first aid. At present, Ms. Balatico is a guidance counselor too of School Governance and Operation Divisions, City Schools Divisions of Kidapawan City Sergeant. Today, she will be facilitating us our webinar, Blended HUGS, Psychological First Aid for Teaching and Non-Teaching Personnel. So, let us give a warm welcome to our guest speaker, Ms. Bessie Joy Saure Balatico.
Good morning, everyone. Ayan, good morning, po sa ating lahat. Ayan, nakikita po ba? Ayan, nakikita po ba ako sa screen? Baka naririnig
Yes,
po
ma'am.
ba ako?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po. Okay. Sige. So, ready na po ba tayo? Okay, good morning, everyone. To the school principal, Ma'am Marilu P. Corugan, DM HRM. To Principal 2 of the Junior High School, Sir Joey L. Heliolina, sir. To the Principal Designate for High School, Ma'am Nanita Silasio. To the teachers and teaching personnel of Agusan del Sur National High School. Okay. Lipay kaayo ko kay naabot ko diri. Asabot mo pag Bisaya na no? Bisaya man ang mga taga-Agusan. Yes. So, so this opportunity to thank the Gender and Development Office as well as the Guidance Office for having this initiative and for inviting me as your speaker. So let me share po my screen with you. Nakikita po ba yung screen ko? Hello po.
Nakita po namin.
Nakikita po yung screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome to our psychological first aid training for teaching and teaching. So again, thank you so much, Ma'am Pinky, for your kind introduction. So, start. Okay, kumusta po kayo? And on mga okay, you can answers. Okay lang. Ayan. So, malamang po may mga araw, marami may mga araw po na walang nagtatanong sa atin ng kumusta tayo. So, whatever is your feeling at this moment po, kung ano man po yung nararamdaman natin ngayon. Okay? Nakikita po ba yung screen ko?
Wala, ma'am.
Kasi may ano po, wait lang po. Share ko po ulit. Kasi may, may nag-click po. Ayan. Kita na po.
Kita ko. Yan po.
Ulitin ko ulit ha. Marahil po may mga araw. Open po na, no?
Nga naman to nga. Off man ko.
Po.
Pero, your microphone is muted. Off ako ang mic.
Okay.
Off kanik ko.
So let's go with session 1, the welcome and introduction. And welcome na po tayo ng ating school principal kanina at saka na ating assistant principals kanina. So this time po, let's so kung mag-video po ko dito sa everyone. So what comes to your mind when you think about psychological first aid? Sige daw po. Pwede po ba, magot? Pwede nyo rin pong i-chat sa ating chat box mga answers po natin. So ano po ba yung ating, sa mga, sa ating pong isip na rinrig natin yung psychological first aid? Anyone po? Hello? Hello po. May narinig ba?
We heard you, ma'am.
Okay, sige po. Sige po. Ano po bang pumapasok sa ating isip po pag naririnig po natin yung salitang psychological first aid or first aid? Ano po ba yung first aid?
I chat
Paunang lunas para sa isip.
Okay, paunang lunas para sa isip. Sige po. Ano pa po?
That's unloading the stress and the pressures.
Okay, unloading the stress and the pressures. Sige po. Pangalawang tanong po, what comes to mind when you think about psychological first aid? Ayun, na-mention po natin kanina, may sumagot po, sabi niya po, unang lunas para sa pag-iisip or to unload stressors or worries or mental health problems or whatsoever reasons po kung bakit nagkaganon yung person. So, let's go with this slide. Okay, PFA. Okay, resilience education. This PFA training po is provided for, ayun, nag-move ako ang slide, pasensya po. Ayan. So this PFA training is provided in terms of school health, ERWG, for DRRM focal persons, for division nurses, counselors and advocates, or for teachers and non-teaching personnel. So ang PFA po is a sort of resilience education where we are teaching our students, especially this time of ayun po, namin po ng ating assistant principal kanina na si Ma'am Nanita, kung ano po yung objectives ng session to. For meaning po, this training, the objectives of this is to understand mental health and psychosocial support services. So part po ng mental health and psychosocial support service or MHPSS, okay, ang psychological first aid. And on this po, usually kasi ang psychological first aid talaga yung intervention na ginagamit, especially ng Department of Education in to provide it to our students for recovery and para po matulungan sila with the different problems that may occur. So, another objective is to understand the steps in psychological first aid. So, we will be teaching later on skills po or yung step po kung paano gawin yung psychological first aid. And lastly is to acquire the skills needed in conducting PFA. So let's talk about PFA. So ano po ba ang psychological first aid? Ayan. Ano po ba ang psychological first aid? So pag sinabi po natin psychological first aid, it is a description of a humane, supportive response to a fellow human being who is suffering and who may need support. So, sinabi po natin humane, meaning it is with empathy, it is with a certain kind of comfort and support, no, to our fellow human being who is suffering at the moment. So usually po, ang PFA, sabi ko nga po kanina, kasi ginagamit ito ng ating Department of Education, kasi ito yung one of the safest na intervention or one of the safest process na pwede i-conduct ng teachers or ng teaching personnel as long as na-train po sila in conducting this one. So this ito pong definition na ito ay from World Health Organization, War Trauma Foundation, and World Vision International 2011, based on SPEAR 2011 and IASC MHPSS guidelines of 2017. 2007, rather. So, mamaya, tututukan po natin, ano ba talagang meron sa psychological first aid? At usually, ito yung ginagamit. Okay. PFA, Psychological First Aid. Ano po meron dyan? Psychological First Aid involves giving practical care and support that does not interrupt. So when you say practical care, actually, ang human being po, we have the tendency to care to people, especially to loved ones. But with this, giving it to our students, no, and support, na hindi nag-i-interrupt. Kasi may kind po ng support minsan na interrupting siya, especially when the student is sharing something to you, we tend to interrupt minsan, no? Na hindi siya interrupting, like for example, nag-share yung student sa atin, tapos usually sasabihin po natin na, ay, nag-agi mo po ni Ana, nakasugakot man ni Ana, na-overcome man ni Ana. So, support that does not interrupt. Another thing, ang PFA involving assessing needs and concerns. So when we conduct PFA, we also assess their needs. Because part of the component po ng psychological first aid is for yung recipient po or yung participant ng psychological first aid, kung paano po ba ma-meet yung mga basic needs and concerns. Going through the number 3, helping people access basic needs such as food and water. So usually, itong PFA, kinakandak talaga to during crisis like natural calamities, pwede rin po yung like earthquake, ayun. Like for example, typhoon, may war, yun po, may sickness, like this pandemic, no? Kaya lang hindi siya pwedeng i-conduct talaga ng physical at this moment. Siguro may mga schools siguro na nag-conduct na in physical, no? Especially pag hindi risky yung place, no? PFA involves helping people access basic needs because hindi magiging effective yung psychological first aid pag hindi din na-provide yung basic needs ng mga learners or anyone. PFA also involves comforting people and helping them to feel calm. Kasi nga po, after a tragedy or after a crisis, people at this time are worried, they're anxious, they are stressed. No, like us po ngayong mga panahon, no? One component of PFA, it's involving na kino-comfort natin yung mga learners natin, especially yung mga class advisors po. You have a very big role at this moment because walang physical ngayon. So ang means of communication natin is through text messages, through group chats, and through like this, Google Meet and Zoom. And to help them feel calm, no? Makarelax good sila. Another thing is, ang PFA po, it's involving in helping people connect to information, services, and social support. Helping people connect to information. Kasi hindi po lahat ng information na nababasa natin or narinig natin are totoo. So when we conduct PFA po, let's help our learners to really connect to good information or to right information and services para matulungan po sila. For example, one example of this one is during the time na nag-earthquake po dito sa amin sa North Cotabato. No, preferably dito sa part ng Makilala, marami talagang na-damage. So, when we provide them PFA, we also provided them the right information na anong gagawin before, during, and after nung earthquake. At saka, yung paniniwalaan lang nila, yung mga source na totoo, yung mga source na tama yung pinanggalingan, hindi yung mga fake news. So as we provide them PFA, let's also give them information that they could connect to information that is right and true. And it protects people further from harm. Kasi nga, because of PFA, they will learn something from this one, aside from ma-share nila kung ano yung mga experiences nila. We can also protect people, no? We can also protect our learners for further harm. Kasi alam na nila yung gagawin nila before, during, and after a certain crisis or a tragedy. Nalilang po ha, parang hang po eh. Ayan. Something only professionals can give, professional counseling. The provider is trained well on PFA, on the conduct of PFA, both on the lecture and workshop. Capable po yan siya mag-provide ng PFA. Kaya nga po, ang PFA is usually ginagamit talaga kasi hindi talaga siya mag-in-depth na training ng matagal. Ayun po. Hindi siya agaya ng counseling na kailangan licensed psychologist or licensed counselor yung magbibigay. And ang PFA po ay hindi clinical or psychiatric intervention. Okay? Hindi po siya psychiatric intervention. Kung baga, sabi ko nga po kanina, psychological first aid is first aid, meaning or a crisis. Ayan po. At saka, itong psychological first aid po, hindi talaga siya yung tinatawag natin na pag kindak natin to, ma-assess natin na matutulungan natin yung may mga mental health problem. Kasi usually ang PFA po, okay, hindi siya clinical o psychiatric intervention. Ito po ay parang paunang lunas po sa mga may pinagdadaanan at the moment. Pero, pwede po siya maging part of a good clinical care because sa pagkanak natin ng PFA later on, makikita tayo ng mga unusual na mga behaviors at saka unusual na mindset ng mga learners natin, pwede natin yun siyang i-refer to further mental health professional for further na pag-aaral or further po na help. Ang psychological first aid po ay hindi psychological debriefing or interrogation. So, hindi po siya yung type na mag-interrogate ka na unsay nahitabo. Actually, normal po yun eh kasi during the processing, itatanong talaga natin siya. Pero may mga series po ng mga activities na kailangan natin gawin para mas safer po sa mga learners to share how they feel at the moment. Hindi po sa psychological. Pero ang PFA is part of psychosocial na debriefing. Next, PFA is not asking someone to analyze what happened to them or to put time and events in order. Hindi po, ang PFA po, hindi po na i-analyze ng learner natin or ng client natin kung ano yung nangyari. Natatanungin natin unsay nahitabo, nagdagan ba mo, na kailangan jud pag-share nila sa ilang na experience is chronological order from start until the end. Kailangan detail jud, dili siya ing-ana. Because if we ask too much like that, pwedeng magbalik, no? Pwedeng magbalik ang bad experiences before and pwede siya ma-cause og trauma sa ato ang learner. Ang PFA is not pressing people to tell their story because we should respect also privacy and confidentiality. During the conduct of PFA, hindi natin ma-assure na lahat ng ating learners or lahat ng ang pagbibigyan natin ito is mag-share ng kanilang story. So let's not press them, let's not force them to share their story, but rather than that, let's provide them good comfort, no? I-comfort na to sila, no? Is na, if gusto na to sila, let's provide good comfort and let them feel na you are trusted and they are safe in your presence. And ang PFA is not asking people details about how they feel or what happened, no? Yes, it's normal na makapangutan na taan na. Pero, if kung sa lang itong gi-share nila, dito lang ta. wala man ta nag-provide og counseling. We will not be going in depth sa atong interview. We will just ask siguro how they feel at the moment, tapos dito ta mag-anchor kung sa atong pwede buhaton later on the process. So when do we provide PFA? Ang psychological first aid po, it is provided during an emergency situation or immediately after a crisis event. No? It is also a part of capacity building in disaster preparedness in emergency-prone areas. And we also provide PFA po during or after a crisis affecting a small group of children or youth, badira. And ang psychological first aid is provided as an immediate intervention with children who have been sexually or physically abused or neglected. So later on, I will be giving you po a strategy on how can we conduct PFA in the most safest thing na dili kaayo siya ing ana ka kanang unsa bitaw kabugat para ato ang learners is would really share, no, and open up sa atoa. So in crisis events, no, like this pandemic, earthquake, typhoon, floods, ayan po, teens and youth react and think differently to adults. Let's be reminded na iba po yung thinking ng ating mga learners, especially mga grades from grade 7 to grade 12. Iba yung thinking nila compared sa adults. So pwedeng sabihin ng adults na kaya ra, makasuga ko dra, ana. Pero naay mga times na ang mga youth dili kasabay on how we cope up with the different circumstances na atong ma-experience. And sa mga crisis events po, teens and youth have specific needs depending on their age and stage. Ayan. So, specific needs. So, pwede sa ubang tao, dili kayo nila need ang care and concern, pero naay uban po na mga learners that they really need that love, concern, na feeling. Kasi nga, nakadepende po, may mga specific needs sila na nakadepende kung how old are them or kung anong stage po ng development na under sila at the moment. And sa crisis events po, ang ating mga learners or youth are vulnerable. No? What do you mean by vulnerable? At risk. No? They are at risk to hostile effects due to their physical size and social and emotional attachments to caregivers. No? So, during the time na crisis, no, iba yung pag-cope up ng ating mga learners. And kasi nga, because of their physical size, kasi nga, batanon pa sila, no? They are in the young age, no? Prone sila na ma-abuse, no? Prone sila na masakitan, no? And yung emotional attachment nila to caregivers is naadera, no? So, let's always remember that our learners have different needs. They have specific age, each one of them. So as we provide psychological first aid, let's not compare one student from another. Moingon ta na, ay kato siya si Pedro. Ka-cope up lagi siya dayon, si Juan lagi dugay. So they have different ways of coping. So which children or which learner need PFA? Actually, dili tanan learners nato kailangan og PFA. Like adults, no? Some children cope very well with different experiences. So sabi ko nga kay Ma'am Pinky before, sabi ni Ma'am Pinky sa akin before na training siya. Para pod mabalaan na to whether the student is in need of PFA or not. So what if, for example, na mo duol sa ato as teacher or class advisor na nag-share sa atong problem. So dili tanan are in need of PFA. Ma-assess man nato na. Kasi meron akong mga slides so may pakita natin what are the symptoms or signs na kailangan gyud sa bata og PFA. Dili tanan kailangan og PFA kay naay mga learners that they are capable to cope up, no, even sa different experiences compared sa uban na pod na student. So usa ang action principles for psychological first aid. So ang psychological first aid has 3 action principles: look, listen, and okay, let's discuss more of that later on. So most children recover well if they, okay, ito po isang statement. Most children maka-recover din sila when they are united with their parents or caregivers. Kauban siya nila ilang family at the moment. Maka-recover ang children or ang learners if they have their basic needs met. Kasi even we provide them PFA, kung sa balay man, dili provided ilang basic needs, magbalik-balik na pa ng cycle. For example, provide na tag psychological share pa ang estudyante sa ato ma'am kanang kay ang kinabuhi karon ma'am ba sir, pait kay ang kinabuhi ron ma'am sir ba. Kanang ano man good kanang dili na ko ma-feel sige mo sila away sa balay namo. Then when we go back to when we trace back na mag-home visit sa mga balay nila, dito na to makita na muday nag-aaway yung both parents kay wala din sila makaon. Very hard. It's very difficult na maka-recover ang isa ka student pag dili ma-provide iyang basic needs. No? Maski unsa pa na therapy yung hatag dira, basic needs is very important. Kasi di ba sa Maslow hierarchy of needs, ang nakababa dyan, kailangan yun na yung sa mga basic needs such as food, shelter, and clothing. Next, most children recover if they feel safe and out of danger. So that's very important. Naisahay na during crisis time, they evacuated from the place to another, one place to another para mas ma-feel safe sila and maging out of danger ang mga learners. And they could recover if they receive particular first aid for use. Like this, so pwede sila maka-recover, capable to recover pag receive sila o any kind of. So, children who may need extra help. Okay. So if everyone na may maakitaan tayo ng, if we provided PFA na for example, if we naakitaan tayo na learners na ganito, ito po yung mga learners na very, very in need of more help. Pwede po natin i-refer ang guidance counselor for counseling maybe if in need talaga, or to mental health professional, depending na rin po kung ano yung observation natin. Yung mga bata or yung mga learners natin na kailangan ng extra help pag they remain very distressed. Na for example, na provide na yung basic needs nila, safe naman yung environment nila, pero distressed pa din sila, hindi pa rin sila naka-cope up dun sa stress nila na experience. So maybe they need extra help. Next is when children maintain dramatic changes in personality and behavior. Maintain dramatic change. So meron ako isang client, kwento ko lang, no? Share ko na lang din. May isang client ngayon na makikita mo talaga yung dramatic changes sa kanyang personality and behavior. Kaya nirefer talaga siya ng guidance designate sa isang school. May isang school na nirefer talaga siya ng guidance designate nila sa amin. Kasi nga, there's really changes na yung bata hindi kumakain, yung bata hindi makausap, yung usual routine ng bata hindi niya na ginagawa. No? Natulala na lang yung bata, hindi mo makausap. So, maybe, no? Hindi talaga maybe. The child is really in need or the learner is really in need of another help. So, ayun po, ni-refer sa amin. So, if ever po na nakikitaan pa ng ganito, especially when we conduct the psychological first aid, nakikitaan talaga natin may mga batang ganito. And even with our interview po sa ating mga parents. Children may also need extra help when they feel threatened, okay, and are at risk of doing harm to themselves or others. If during the psychological first aid po natin, may na-experience yung ating learner na they do self-harm, meaning in terms of naglalaslas siguro, ganon. Ito po yung pinaka-common yung paglalaslas. Or ginugutom niya yung sarili niya, hindi siya kumakain, or dinideprive niya yung sarili niya sa pagtulog, ayun, pwede po yun. And if that child is severely distressed, avoid po natin, no, especially sa ating mga parents later on, let's avoid leaving him or her alone. And stay with the child until the reaction has passed or until you can get help from others. So ito po yung mga kailangan nating tingnan, mga red flags na kailangan nating tingnan if yung learner natin is really in need of more help aside from the psychological first aid na ating binigay. So this time po, I will be teaching you now skills. No? We have here skills like listen, protect, connect, model, and teach. So it's helping your helping you help your students in time of disaster, school, crisis, and emergencies. So, as teachers po, malaki po yung role talaga natin because we are the second parent at school. It doesn't mean na walang physical class ngayon is hindi tayo magiging second parent or magiging class advisor or teacher sa ating mga estudyante. So, now, as a teacher po, we are in an excellent situation. Excellent. Kasi minsan, no, minsan mas paniniwalaan pa ng student yung mga teachers niya. So, because of that rapport that we have, meron tayo yung palagay of our friends, so, we kind of tulong. So, just as our students are, we help connect our students with appropriate academic services and instances, kasi diba, tayong mga referral, mga counseling during the physical class, we are in the excellent also position to help our students return to school, stay in school, to learn, and to return to their usual school-based activities after such an event. Kasi may mga tendencies school, may mga students na prefer na nasa bahay sila, may mga students na affected yung learning, no? And because of this one, just as we help them connect with guidance office during the so makikita natin na malaki talaga yung role natin as teachers. So, you can help your students if you can help our students if we protect, connect, and crisis or emergency. These steps can help them bounce back more quickly. So these steps usapan natin ngayong morning is ito yung magiging steps na gagamitin natin para matulungan natin yung student natin bounce back. It's very important. Resiliency is to be able to bounce back from a certain effect of disaster, school crisis, kanilang place, may na ay ma'am, nagbago gani siya mangingani na iyang attitude, ngani na iyang behaviors balay. So, let's really listen, observe, and note changes. Ayan. So that's the first po na action principle. Listen, Listen. So listen is not just hearing. No, listen is also observing, noting changes. It's also providing them empathy. Say empathy, let's putting yourself in their shoes so that we may understand kung bakit ganun talaga yung action ng bata or yung behavior ng bata towards us. Number 2, protect. Ano bang meron sa protect? We can help our students feel better by doing all of the following. Number 1, confusion students may have about what happened. For example, may pandemic. Asked you, pandemic na may paniman. So, it will make our students feel students kasi kahit adult na tayo, meron tayong mga similar reaction to a certain situation. So, letting our student or learner know na hindi sila alone dun sa reaction nila at hindi lang sila yung nakaramdam ng ganun will make them feel safe. Kasi sasabihin nila na, ay, dili lang man di ako ang nag-uol, ay, dili lang man di ako ang nasad, ay, dili lang man di ako ang nabaguhan, daghan man di ay ni. Next, let's provide our students to talk, opportunities to talk, to draw, and play. But don't force it. No? Let's provide our opportunities sa atong student no na mag-storya jud no to talk without to talk kita wala ta naga-judge. If gusto nila i-draw how they feel, it could be if gusto nila mag-play, ayun lang pud ipugos. No? Next, we could also talk to students mga everyone safe from harm. Ayan. Kung nag-uul ang estudyante sa pandemic, pwede na to i-remind ato mga students na lang school ba no ngani jud ba ya ang paningkamot namo sa school nato na mas safe ta tanan mo na may washing area sa gawas, sanitize jud, face mask jud, tapos mag-face shield jud. Ana. And the community, what is the community doing, no? Just to keep everyone safe from harm. Now, let us also watch for anything the environment that could re-traumatize our students. So, when we do home visits po, if ever na possible na siya, let's try to look at sa environment sa bata. Kaya basi, naka-recover na ang bata, but because of the environment na naa siya, okay, pwede siya ma-retraumatize, hindi mo balik sa atong negative feeling na experience niya before. So that's very important, especially at school. And let's also keep our eyes and ears open for bullying behaviors. Na for example, natay mga students sa atong group chat na mangbully sila, for example, tapos sila na ay bayot na siya kay talawit kaayo mga ana, and it could not really help to let our learners feel safe, no? It would not really help our students to feel safe, and it would not help our learners to really recover from what they are struggling at the moment. Also from that, adding to that is to maintain daily routines, no? Activities and structure with clear expectations. Consistent rules and immediate feedback and limit unnecessary changes. So, this time po, meron tayong tinatawag na itong modular learning or if ever meron po kayong online class. So, as much as possible, kasi lahat tayo nagko-cope up, lahat po tayo is that even that na talaga na naka-adapt, may say na naka-adapt tayo pero not totally, no? Let's try to maintain our daily routines. Kung ano, di ba, may class program po tayo, let's stick to that. Ayan, tapos yung mga activities natin, let's give them a clear expression, on structure nun, tapos yung rules po natin upon doing it, kailangan consistent sana. At saka, when they ask something from us, let's immediately reply to them or answer them back. Para po hindi mag-worry yung student na wala man gatubag si ma'am kanang lisod kay ang math module ina may ana for example. And so let's limit unnecessary changes, no, limit ato ko mga changes na pina-update kay dili tanan makasabay sa ingana na kind of change. Next po, way to protect also is to make adjustments to assignments to be sensitive to students' current level of functioning. Ayan. So, may mga times usahay na natin mga students na maybe late mag-submit og module or moingon sila na, ma'am, dili mo makasabit dayon og module, ma'am. Sir, kay nagatrabaho man ko buntag, ma'am. So gabi ra jud ko after module kay nagatrabaho man ko, ma'am. So let's also make adjustment na if ever na sabit na ang mostly sa iyang classmates, let's still accept kung unsa man niyang ipasa because naman valid reason why late siya nag-submit. In that, we can let our students feel safe kasi naiintindihan natin yung kanyang situation at the moment. Ayan. And also, let's remind our students po na to limit access to live television and the internet that show disturbing scenes of the event. Ayan. Kung, for example, natin student na mag-share na kuratan yun biya o wag ka nang makita ka ng nagginog-linog, ma'am, or nag-ambulansya na nag-agi. Nga, ako remind na, sige, ayaw tanawa ang sa TV, kay, basig, samot, kay, makitaan na. So, let's try to also limit them and remind them na kung ano yung mga events sa buhay nila na that could trigger or that could let them remember of what happened on the past, avoid nila. And remember po na what's that affecting to us, no? And vice versa, no? Na yung mga butang na sa ato dili ta matandog, dili ta ma-upset, dili ta ma-discourage or ma-disappoint, no? Sa ato or to other people, pero confused, pwede siya maka-discourage or pwede siya ma-disappoint sa atong mga students. So let's really remind ourselves with that. And also, let's encourage our students to take break. Ayan. From the crisis focus with activities unrelated to the event. Especially in this module, tanan man jud nag-adjust ani. So, let's also remind our students and encourage them na, well, answering the module, they take a break, pero dili kayo siya stressful. And also find ways for our students to feel helpful to their classroom, if ever, the school, and the community. And lastly, these other things you do that help your students feel better. Sharing lists with their teacher of students. At mga bagay na tingin po natin ay makatulong sa ating mga estudyante para mas maka-feel po sila na better. No? Isa natin na ano ba yung mga bagay na pwedeng makatulong sa student natin para mas maka-feel sila na better, mas maging magaan yung pakiramdam nila. And itong list na po ito, pwede po natin itong i-share sa ating kasamahang mga teachers or sa ating kasamahang mga employees also to increase their ideas also on how to help other people or how to help other students. So let's go to number 3. Ayan, connect. Connecting is very important. Connecting is also linking. No, linking. So these connections will build strength for everyone. Consider ways to make some or all of the following cons. Check-in. Ito po ay very important. let's check in with students on a regular basis. By provide sa ating mga group chats, by just saying good morning everyone, a nice day everyone, that means a lot to our students. It could make them feel na remember them even in the first hour of the day. No? Let's check in our students. Kamustahin natin sila. No? And also find resources that can offer support to our students. No? And let's also keep communication open with others, involving in your students' lives, parents, other teachers, and coaches. It's very important po na when we really provide them PFA, no, importante talaga ang connection. No, important connection. And other things, connecting with others like restoring interactive school activities, pwede na gawin online, including sports club, club things, student service projects, and student government. Ayan. For example, sa schools natin, pwede tayong mag-conduct ng leadership seminar or leadership webinar together with students. Ayan. Pwede natin silang bigyan ng mga activities na ang mag-spearhead is yung student government, just to connect these students na ma-feel nila na, especially at this moment, limited talaga yung physical mga interactions. At least ma-feel nila that they're still part of the school and they are student of that school because ka-experience talaga sila ng mga various activities, kahit school-based lang siya, or sabihin natin through lang. Connect is very important, no? Because actions can build strength to everyone. No? Tayo po, di ba, mga teachers, mga non-teaching personnel, pag nakaka-receive tayo ng text from our co-teacher or co-employee, sasabihin nilang, uy, kamusta naman ka dira? Okay pa dira? Kamusta ang mga forms dira? Okay na ba? Diba, we feel better, much better, no? We feel much better when we read that text messages or chats from these people, no? It could really build strength to everyone. Aside from connecting is also encourage students activities with friends, including class projects and extracurricular activities. Very important po if ever na when they do module this time, pwede po silang yung mga magkakatabing bahay, ayan, yung mga magkaka-neighborhood, ayan, katabing bahay, they could really they could really have group study, no? Para mas ma-feel nila na they have someone to be there, na meron silang kasama on answering their module. Connecting is also empathizing with our students by allowing a little more time for them to learn materials, no? Ko nga po kanina na ang ating mga learners ay hindi pare-pareho ng phase of learning. So, kailangan natin ilagay yung shoes natin na may mga student na can really understand yung module na binabasa, pero may mga student din talaga na they really need further instructions to understand. Kasi, normally po, example ko po dito sa amin, no, may mga schools dito sa amin na, yung isang school po na binivisit ko at tinulungan ko, may mga students, especially mathematics, na maingon din sila na, ma'am, katong sa ingani number ba, unsaon ganito, ma'am, kini man po asabot. No, let's emphasize that. Let's allow them to have a little more time na yun, no? And really to answer their questions, it's very important. And let's also connecting is also building our students' strengths, no? Let's find ways to help them use what they have learned in the past to help them deal with the event. No? Kasimple lang po na sasabihin natin yung student natin na naasugakod mo ka dati ani, overcome man ka ani na manimuni dati, nahuman man manimuni, na-survive manimuni. O di ba? So kaya na-survive ko before, keep is survive karon. Ano na mga affirmations po. And also remind our student that disasters, crisis, and is rare. No, dili experimente. And also, let's also discuss to them other times that they have felt safe. Na even na ingani ang panghitabo, no, they're still safe, no? If they just follow health protocol, especially ng COVID, na
If ang ani ang nahitabo sa environment, they're still safe at their house, no? They're still safe at school. Ayun po yung iparam natin ating mga students. And also, we can list programs and activities that connect you and your friends with the community. No, sabi ko po kanina, pwede nyo rin pong i-share yung list sa other teachers to create a larger list of activities and resources. Ayan. Number 4. Ayan. Model. Unsa man ang model? Bless. Ang model ba? Kanang model like kanang mga model sa TV? No. It could be, yes. Pero in teaching, ang modeling is more on showing or being the best example to our students. So as we help our students after disaster, crisis, or emergency, our efforts may be successful and we may feel stressed po if we keep in mind that as a teacher, as an employee, it is good also to be aware of our thoughts. Mag-aware tayo sa thoughts natin. Maging aware din tayo sa ating feelings. At saka yung reaction natin sa event, which can be seen can affect our students. No? If ever man na, let's be aware na kung nahadlok ka, that's normal, that's valid. Na kung ang concern is that mag-iwas ka, that's normal, that's valid. But let's also bear in mind na nakikita ng estudyante natin kung ano yung reaction natin dito, pwede siyang mang-aapekto sa ating estudyante. No? For example, sa balento, we have problems with different circumstances at house. So we should not bring school. Kasi, so iwan natin yung, I'm not telling po na pretentious tayo. Let's just say na what is the problem at house? Stay at house. Kasi there's another thing na ni-accommodate at school. Kasi pwede po yung ma-affect sa ating mga students. Next po, to cope up and behave will influence how your students cope and behave. And your students will be teaching you both verbal and verbal cues. So dili kayo na siya ingani ka-visible karon because of the pandemic, dili man jud naga-physical class. But later on na inyuhang ma-experience sa sunod na kung paano ta mag-cope up ato ang mga students, no? Ano nila kung yun sa nato pag-cope up. No, they will also watch us how cope up. No? They will be watching our verbal, how to speak, and the non-verbal cues for actions and gestures. So let's be very careful with that. Okay? We cannot say na ayun ka worry tapos the worry and kaguol is visible to atong face on how we talk, how we act. It's very important. And also modeling is monitoring also conversations that students may hear. No? It's very careful when we share one person to another, let's also monitor and be careful of our conversation. Kaya basi, na yung makadungog na estudyante and it will help what he is or what she is experiencing at the moment. And also, in modeling po, let's also acknowledge the difficulty of the situation. No? Listen naman jud. Inood gid na siya, especially during lockdowns, magkaroon tayo ng scarcity of basic needs kay hindi man tanan able to provide food, let's also acknowledge na this situation. Pero i-demonstrate na to na how people can come together to cope up after such an event. Filipinos is very known for what? For resiliency. So sa pag-acknowledge na to na lisod gid siya situation, pero kailangan nato i-demonstrate na ipakita ang best example ato ang ipa-feel sa ato mga students na when people come together, when people are there, no, pwede ma-cope up ang event. Nakaya nating suungan yung paghihirap, yung stress na kaya natin i-overcome. And lastly po, to teach. It means hindi tayo teacher, we cannot teach. Educate.
How? We can talk to our students affect actions crisis, like emotional, behavioral, and cognitive and physiological. So there are normal actions to abnormal events. That's very important. No? We can talk to our students kung ano itong mga expected na reaction. Diba, mahadlok ka, mag-uol ka, sa behavior nimo, agitated ka, sa behavior na to, nang makita na to na dili na nakausog ang appetite, no? Medyo na difficulty maka-cope up, na difficulty na maka-understand, no? Na changes in body, like namayat, nanaba. Is normal reactions, no? Because of abnormal events. And different people may have different reactions. It's very important to bear in mind po na yung students din, iba-iba sila, no? Iba-iba sila ng reaction sa mga sitwasyon. Even with similar situations like COVID-19, iba yung reaction towards this. And even with the same within the family. So after the event, people may also have different amounts of time they need to cope up and adjust. So let's also bear in mind po, after ng isang event, no, meron tayong kanya-kanyang timeline or meron kanya-kanyang at saka mag-adjust. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na cope up na ako, okay na ako. Hindi mo rin pwedeng sabihin na it took one month lang man to adjust. Hindi po ganoon. Kaiba-iba tayo ng phases of coping. And let's also encourage our students to identify and use strategies to them after the event. Let's encourage no, it could be through play, music ba yan? Better after event. Kabugan buhaton. Or na level of goals na iyang set. And this achievement aims for the entire as we teach po, let's remind students that others with the okay. No? Pero ang dili okay, kanang dili gid sila okay, karon hantod. No, let's remind them na after a disaster, after a certain event, yung reaction nila are valid and normal. And also, as a PFE provider, no, we can yes po. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's go to activity.
Yes, ma'am.
So, itong activity po nito, ay kita po ba yung screen? Ay kita po yung screen,
Yes,
no?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Instruction. Provide one whole sheet of paper. One whole paper. Okay. So, ang gagawin po natin, let the student see. Okay, the paper now is divided into 3 columns. Ganito. Threefold. Ngayon, ano pong gagawin? Sa left side ng paper, okay, ipasulat po natin sa bata ano yung negative effects that you and your family and community had during the COVID-19 or other crisis. So sa left side po ng paper, i-plot po natin unsat mga negative effects na na-experience nila or sa ilang pamilya or sa community na observe during COVID-19 or other crisis na abot or na nag-abot. Sulat po dito sa right. Sa left mean. Okay. Motong first instruction na to. After sa pikas na po na side, sa right side of the paper, okay, they could write positive effects that COVID-19 or other crisis brought to you, your family, and other cases. No? So, sa right side sa papel, ipasulat na to dito sa bata, ito tong positive effects. So, mautanan sila na, ma'am, sir, positive effect ng COVID-19. So, you could initiate also na, sige daw, pansin na to, kung sinahitabo na ribot, ay mas naging fit na effect. After the blood, nakasulat sila dire, no? Lastly po, doon sa center part, sa tunga sa papel, okay? They will write their hopes, wishes, or prayers during this time of pandemic or any other crisis. So for example, mag-hope sila na, I hope na mahuman na ng pandemic. I hope na nanay vaccine. I hope na stable na ang job sa akong papa. Okay. After nila nasulat okay, and do the processing. Oh? Meaning, i-share na to. For example, kung mag-big group na ta, pwede na siya. Pero kung kamo nang duwa sa bata, that's okay as well. Na after masulatan tong tulong a column po, mag-share na mo. Kung unahon dyan ninyo share ang negative. Okay, negative biting na unahon. Gusto man tong negative, kaya usually man good ang tao, ang makita lang gid nila because of that crisis or event is ang negative. Ganun din siya ibutang ng negative. Pero after na share sa negative, i-process to nimo. No, pwede na to ingon na yes, I hear you. Kapag mga isulat nimo, all of these are valid and normal, especially na okay na tong reaction towards pandemic, towards this crisis ako na experience. And there's nothing wrong with that because that is your feeling. Kasi ina-acknowledge po natin doon, no, to accept how they feel and their reactions. Na okay to siya, na normal lang to siya, na there's nothing wrong with them. Okay. Next po. During the positive, pag nag-share na ito ng positive, let's also offer those positive. Yes, tinuod yun na siya. No, na mas na-strengthen ang bond sa family. No, na-strengthen ang communication sa family. Mas naglapit ang feeling sa Ginoo, ato ang sarili sa Ginoo, mas careful ang mga tao. Ana? Or other example po is, if ever nag-share sila na nakita nila ang tabanganay sa tao, yes, it would be visible kaayo na daghan kay nagtabang during this time of pandemic, tabanganay jud ang mga tao, no? Na wala jud nag-iyahanay at this moment. And during the hopes po, pag i-process na nato tong hopes, yes, these hopes are possible as long as naga-work out ta with this, no? These hopes are really good, no? Na maunang yun ang pandemic because everyone is praying for that, no? And as long as now you are doing your part, na ano ba, during the processing, as long as you are doing your part na to stay informed, no? You are doing your part na to really wear face mask and face shield, na to get home talaga, na if dili needed mo gas. So, after that po, after the processing, after ato tanan na-discuss na tong negative, positive, and hopes sa bata, let's to process it by asking, so unsa may na-feel nimo karon? No? Unsa may na-feel nimo na apay bagbag-o? So let's try to evaluate our student because actually sa among kanid tested and proven naman ko siya na activity, no, kasi during the times na nag-earthquake diri sa Kidapawan, Makilala, no, sa mga places diri sa amo, muni among gigamit na PFA na PFA tool, no, PFA na way, no, to conduct it because it's more simpler, no, and as well as makashare gid sila, ma-express nila how they feel at the moment. So yon. So ganito yung output nito. Sana ba yon? Sandali lang po ha. Medyo naghang po yung laptop eh. Ayan. So, nakikita po ba natin yung sa screen po?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello po.
Yes,
po.
ma'am. Klaro.
Yes. Ayan po yung way.
Hello, Jane.
Ayan po yung ways, no? So, we'll start really folding from the left, going to the right, and then isunod po natin yung doon sa right side para ma-fold po siya into three. At saka ito po, itong slide na po na itong last part po na may green ang background, ganito po yung magiging output. So, ulitin ko po ulit ha, yung negative part po dito po sa ito pong point na pinopoint ko, ito pong left side. Tapos yung positive naman po, dito sa right side. So, huwag po natin kalimutang isulat po na negative, positive, at saka hopes. Ayun. Tapos, huwag po natin kalimutan na ilagay yung pangalan ng bata or ng learner natin dito sa baba or sa taas. Ayan. So, yan po yung 3 folds activity. Ayan. So, nagets po ba natin yung process po, sir? Hello po?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Nagets po natin yung process po sa 3 folds activity. Yes po. Okay, sige po. Now, okay. So, ready po ba tayo for the next activity? Hello po. Hello? Okay. Sige po. Let's go with the synthesis po ng ating activity. So now we know that we have to encourage the survivors or learners of a disaster to revisit their strengths in order to support self-efficacy to deal with the situation. So, doon po sa activity na noon, mapapakita po natin na even in the negative part po ng pangyayari, there is still positive part or there is still positivity that is really there, no? With them, in them, no? At saka, doon po natin napapakita, self-efficacy is yung capable to Dira. You can just sit down po while doing it. Pwede rin ka sit down. Pwede rin ka po. Okay. Turn off po your microphone.
Turn off your microphone.
Okay. Please. Sige po. So, ang first po ang first step po is you put your hand on your diaphragm like this, and then you do ha, ha, hu, hu, hu. Okay. Sige ha, wag lang tayo mag-on ng microphone. Okay, wag lang tayo mag-on ng microphone ha. Ako lang. You do it on your own dyan sa kung saan man po kayo ngayon. Sige. Okay. First, put your hand on your diaphragm. Say ha, ha, hu, hu. Ha, ha, hu, hu, hu.
Ha, ha, hu, hu, hu.
Okay. Okay, nice, Sir Joey. Gumagalaw po ba yung diaphragm natin? Gumagalaw po ba when we do ha, ha, hu, hu, hu? Yes, gumagalaw.
Diaphragm.
Ha, ha, hu, hu, hu. Sige, sabay-sabay po tayo. Sige, 1, 2, 3, go. Ha, ha,
hu, hu, hu.
ha, ha, hu, hu, hu. Ha, ha.
Kinahanglan magtindog, ma'am?
Okay, mas maayo magtindog ka, sir. Ma'am, para nindog ang activity. Sige, manindog tatanan. Sige, everybody say. Oh, diba? Sige, another day, dri na siya sa diaphragm. So that's the first, no? That's the first po na process. Okay. And then, 3 times po yung gagawin. 3 times. Okay. So, after the 3 times, okay, after the 3 times, we'll be inhaling and exhaling for 4 times. Okay. For that, muna, no? Let's first inhale, exhale muna tayo para makagain tayo ng hangin. Okay? Hangin muna. Sige. You hold your diaphragm. Sige, hold your diaphragm po. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Let's do the ha, ha, hu, hu, hu for 3 times. Okay? 1, 2, 3, go. Ha, hu, 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 hu. Ha, ha, okay. Okay, inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Shout. Ha. Okay. Next po, let's do the chant with clapping. Ganito po. Okay. Ang magiging chant po niyan is, sabayan po natin yung chant ng ha, ha, hu, hu, hu. Supposedly po, dapat nakabend yung knees. Sige po. Supposedly, dapat nakabend yung knees. Nakabend po dapat yung knees. And then like that. Okay. Ganun po dapat yung mangyayari. Okay. At saka, while doing it, okay, gumagalaw po yung kamay natin, pati yung ating ha, ha, hu, hu, hu. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, go. Ha, ha, hu, hu, hu. 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 Ha, ha, hu, hu, hu.
Okay. Actually po, mas maganda siya na i-exaggerate natin. Okay? Ikatawa dyan nimo kay ha ha hu hu. Laughter yoga man siya. So ikatawa dyan nimo imong magkatawa jud ka. Ikatawa jud nimo, dili pwede na ha ha ho 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 ha ha. Wala na siya effect. Wala gid na siya effect, ma'am sir. Wala i-exaggerate gid nimo. Okay, sabay tatanan ha. Okay, sabay tatanan. 1, 2, 3, go. Ha ha ho 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 ha
Hoy, lapsi na ara ko, oh. Oo, gi-unmute na na ko, Teng. Kanya, ganina na yung kasama ko.
Okay. Sige. That's the second, no? That's the third. That's the third process. In everything that we do here, after say sakatan, let's really inhale, exhale for 4 times. Okay? Flush na ko niya sa screen process, no, para makuha ninyo po. Pero at this time, practice nato unsa pagbuhat. Okay. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, out. Ha. Okay. Now let's go to the fifth. Okay, let's go to the fifth. Okay, this is a chant po. No, this is a chant na create po namin during the earthquake. Applicable po siya karon. Okay? Sige. Ang lyrics po nito is, kung darating man handa pag-iisip ay tama, mananalig at tawa. Anong lyrics? Okay. Na ko. Can we see there po ba? Can we do that? Sige, you can open your microphones po as we sing together.
Darating man ko. Darating man ko.
Sige.
Kabugihaw.
Ako'y handa.
Ayan. Anyone po na gustong sumagot? Ayan. Kamusta po ang ating feelings, ma'am and sir? So far? Yes, anyone who would like to answer po? Okay. Wala gusto mag-share kung sa iyong feelings? Sige. How about si Ma'am Cindy. Yes, Ma'am Cindy. What's your feeling po? Hello? Narinig po ba ako? Hello? Hello po. Hello? Okay. Sige po. Okay. Some of you po dito nagsabi na ano yun? May nagsabi po dito na relief daw siya. Okay? Congrats kay Sir Ian Morente, grabe participative, no? Sabi din dito na si Sir Ian is oral recitation, oral and participation. And then, sabi din ng NHS Guidance Office, nakaka-relief, ma'am. Wala og stress. Okay. So, if ever po na applicable po to sa inyo, ma'am and sir, okay, applicable din po to sa ating mga students. Ayan. So, balik po tayo dun sa session natin. So, ayan yung step. Ikita po ba natin yung nasa screen? Hello po, nakikita po?
Yes, ma'am. Kaya, ma'am.
So, yan po yung ating steps. Pwede po ninyo yan siyang i-picture at pwede po ninyo yan siyang i-share with our students, especially if makikita nyo na to sa itong students na very siya and medyo lain yun yung nawong at the moment na nag-share sa ima, or even to your own family, no? Even your own colleagues po, even to your home, pwede nyo pong gawin. So, sandali lang po ha. Kasi medyo nag-hang po yung laptop ko. Ayan. Thank you na po. Ayun. So, ayan po. So much. Ayan. Sa mga tanong po, ask lang po kayo. And, ayun. Pwede nyo pa, if you have questions po, and if you are in need of help, ayan, you can email me po at blessy.balatico@deped.gov.ph and po yung phone number ko if in case po. Again, this is my reference po for our study this morning. And ayan po. And maraming salamat po sa opportunity na ma-share, and I hope na may na-input po ako sa inyo at may nakuha po tayo paano sa ating session this morning. Again, thank you so much for having me. And sabi nga po, for I end, and I quote, yes, stress, okay, depression, pressure is inevitable part of life, but always remember that suffering is optional because we can do something to overcome. Once again, good morning sa ating lahat and maraming salamat.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Lottie.
Let's go.
Gusto man ay humana?
Uy, gumana ko noon sa jam day. Ano pa?
Ito yun po. Wala may gitaw.
Ikaw ba dyan?
Dito yun ako nga kung mag-off of mic. Kung sa'y sunod.
Kagwapo ni mo, ma'am. Uy, nauno man ka. Imo naman tagidyan itong screen.
Wala pa na human. Nakapay activities. Sunod. Ano naman taga-guidance?
Okay, ba may mga tanong po tayo yan na gusto niyo pong tanong. Feel free to ask questions lang po.
Q&A o forum. Open forum pa pala. Okay? Ma'am, thank you Ma'am Jessie Joy Balatico for your nice input, ma'am. So, teachers, do you have questions? May tanong ba tayo sa ating invited guest?
Wala po.
Hello, Ma'am Pao? Na-distress na ka, Ma'am Pao? Wala na.
I'm already distressed.
Okay? So, ba't na yung mga puwalya, mga kailangan na ito may bawaan pa na si Ma'am Blessy Ray makatubag. Anybody? Si Ma'am Erin Palyado. Hello, Ma'am.
Present, Sir Joy. Suman.
Sabay mong mga query.
Wala ko inquiries. Kuan, guwapo kayo nga si Pal. Guwapo kayo mong register sa screen now.
Wala akong din mo akong stress.
Oh. Muna din na ito stress. Guwapo kayo kadiha. Okay na kayo. God ba ini? My God.
Okay. So, what will be our next activity from the guidance office? Hello, Ma'am Rosa Guluran. Or open pa ba sa Blessy for one? Sa man tayong karon intended for open forum, no? After the virtual seminar is an open forum by Ma'am.
Sir, open forum. Yes, sir.
Open forum pa.
Oo, open forum pa, sir. And lunch break na yun, humanana. Oh. Sorry. Open forum pa, sir. Open forum.
Open forum pa. We'll facilitate the open forum. Si Ma'am Gabino. Hello, Ma'am Maria Gabino. Ma'am, do you have questions? Wala na? Okay.
Legit po. Basta na yung cover sa akin.
Ina, Sir Joey.
Hello, ma'am. We have na mo yung mga kuhanda, prepared na pa. Hello, ma'am Pinky.
Yes, hello. Yes, sir.
Ay, mga pangutan na rin mga teachers na
Okay, asan mo? Mga chat box nila. So, any questions so far? Okay. So far po,
Or please, that's your questions sa chat box.
ang kabasaan. Okay, so please be reminded po sa lahat ng mga participants after dito, please log in sa nakalagay na link for evaluation attendance po. And after po, pagka lunchtime, then balik ng 1 p.m. So I think wala po yatang gusto tanong. Oo. Saan? Chat. Sir, wala. Wala. Asa? Where? So, isa ito lang ni. Kung wala ko sa wala. Libot nga lang sa kanang mukuan mo. Puli sa iya. Binot na ka-ready. Ang-awag din hong chat. Sa chat sa Zoom. Wala ko. Hindi ko nakakwanta ni Wa ko sa kuwan.
Para man.
There's any query, sa balik sa
please reminded po na yung evaluation link na first na kagahapon. Okay, so if walang magtanong po, link lang ginapakita. Link sa evaluation.
Si Dr.
Oo.
Nasa baba sa link.
Nasa baba sa link sa Zoom nga na-send na kagahapon ang link sa evaluation po.
One of the business partners transaction. Doon pa, kitang wala.
Okay, so I guess there's walang mag-ask ng questions. Maybe we can end our session for this morning so that we can take our lunch and then balik na for 1 p.m.
Hello po, Ma'am Pinky. Pwede na po mag-out?
Yes po. Ma'am Blessed, thank you so much po. Do appreciate po sa naambag mo po for us. Thank you, Lassie.
Salamat po, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye. Ako, sir, pabalik ko. So, saan tatapag? Ako daw. Oo. Nabiya siya dito? Mabasa man, sir, di ba? Ang kanang chat box diha, sir. Pabasa kay Ma'am Rosa. Sabi na ko ba yung para manang hit?
Ang kuan daw, ang evaluation, lahi ang sa morning evaluation lahi sa hapon.
Oo, naman ito isa.
Pagka
Oo, nakoy. Kunya na lang na evaluation. Para unya pa man unya.
I-type na lang hiya palihog, sir, para unya na lang hapon ng evaluation.
Kinalang spirit na lang, ina na lang.
last speaker.
Bigyan ako ng
Isa ra ang link nga gihatag sa evaluation.
Isa ra sa
So, ato iingon.
After nun, kanya na lang pag
Commission, sir.
Yung person mo pa nag-webinar. Yan na.
O, tama ba ni? After na daw sa mga ka-SP. After na daw sa mga ka-SP. Kunya hapon ang pag-comply sa evaluation.